Hello everybody, welcome to game number 2 in this best of 5 bronze match championship from the casuals bracket between Twodback and ichbineinkonto. I'm Philothanic. Joining me today is Morgan, and this looks like a much nicer map than last one, Morgan.
It is. It's a very nice map. There's a lot of options here. Steel is the only thing that, well, steel and electronics are starting high. So there's a couple of good spots. I mean, there's a reasonable scavenger the southwest corner. Possibly you could go for some Pacific if you wanted to.
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, you could even go for
expansive.
You could go for expansive, robot, anything you fancied.
Definitely, given the amount of spots, I'd definitely be shooting to found second to get quicker access to that black market and the extra claim at HQ2.
The extra claim must be on our players' minds, but
yeah, well, eventually you're going to want to start early. Konto going for the double low scavenger.
HQ has been
ouch, really is all I could say about that.
Yeah, Twodback going for a more traditional robot opening. Konto did immediately upgrade to HQ2 off of that early cash that he got. It was, what, 1.5k? I'm not sure that was enough money, though, to take double low carbon. Also, what on earth is this water claim?
I was just about to ask you, what is going on? He must have made a mistake here and taken water twice.
Unless he's denying Twodback close high water, but there's so many mediums around, I don't think it really matters.
I don't think the robot's too interested in water at this point.
No.
That's a mistake. Trying to deny your opponent when there's this much water on the map is a move that I don't think will pay off for him. Really don't.
No. What I would like to see from Konto right now is a EMP on Twodback's iron. Shut all the steel production down, although it is only $6, so it probably doesn't really matter.
Yeah, some kind of black market action. At this point,
at least maybe on this steel plus 1 power triangle.
Wow, it's a very early geothermal claim.
Well, Twodback
Konto's
delayed. If he would have delayed that magnetic storm 1/2 a second earlier, he would have got that geotherm, but he gets it anyway.
Twice he got it.
Oh, he did get it the first time? I did not notice.
He did, but I mean, he's slowing him down for a couple of seconds. It's not like he's doing any. He's not got value for money out of that. I don't. Water's pretty close. I mean, all right, carbon.
I mean, the thing is, it forces him to spend what, a nice 300, 400 and whatever carbon that he really would have liked to upgrade to HQ2, especially with only 3 carbon a second.
Does it destroy? Would it destroy all the geotherm?
I think it destroyed
resources.
I thought it did.
I thought it just reset it.
Oh,
I'm sure Blues will update us in
chat.
Yeah,
if somebody in chat wants to determine which one of us is correct. If neither, it doesn't destroy the material. Okay, that's a lot less useful than I thought it was.
Because otherwise, if you were trying to repair an off-world market of the colony, that would be pretty OP.
Well, then people might actually use the magnetic storm more often.
Yeah, they have their place, I think, magnetic storms.
But anyway, Twodback is the first to HQ3 off of this high steel, low iron price, just churning through, selling off steel uncontested, really in terms of black market.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised we're not seeing a bit more black market out of the scavenger, Mr. Konto. Needs to be a little bit more. You need to harass that robot. I mean, you're never in a good situation if you're being a scavenger. A little bit surprised he hasn't used a core sample to maybe try and improve his carbon slightly. Pretty sure there's a few good carbon tiles there that he could pop, get a little bit of adjacency going.
Yeah, making a triangle of carbon would, even if it's just another low, should at least catch him up.
Yeah, I mean, for a scavenger, 3 carbon a second is just not. It's just not enough.
Especially when you're moving into a highly questionable wind turbine.
Yeah, I mean, well, I suppose it's better. better than the water pump, so we're going to condemn him for it, but
An alternate would be to maybe use a couple dry solar condensers to power through some upgrades early right next to the base and then swap them out into a triangle of some other sort of production.
a couple of cadenzas, I mean, looking at the price of O2 would be pretty good, and the extra carbon would certainly be an advantage. I'm struggling to see where Konto is making it. At the moment, he's just got base resources. There we go, he makes the upgrade to HQ level 3, and we have Dust Storm.
Well,
Which,
turns his terrible power wind turbine into a okay wind turbine, making 0.8 a second.
$105 a second, not to be sneezed at.
No?
But,
He does have its
Twodback's
geotherm. Twodback moving into a geo of his own.
ungooned Geo.
Ungoon. He does have a goon stored up, so it depends whether Kanto was paying attention to that goon purchase. Might be assuming it's on the geotherm.
Yeah, he's got a mutiny in stock as well. So, if it does get mutinied, he should be okay. Kanto's got a single Black Max style. $14 a second of the Dust Storm. Needs to get a couple of friends up for him.
Yeah,
Doing
he's
quite
just
well there.
struggling. Deciding to EMP out these solar panels during the tail end of the dust storm. Might want it to waited another 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, well, he's got him covered for the daylight anyway, so
I guess it doesn't really matter. He does finally, Kanto does finally get enough money to pull up the second greenhouse farm. Twodback, HQ4.
yeah, Twodback says, do what you like, I'm going to be upgrading, I'm going to be making some. Imagine Twodback's going to move into either reactors or farms. This HQ level.
Congratulations.
One virtual reality, there's a half decent Pleasure Dome spot. Pleasure Dome's $64 without adjacency. Power, nah. He doesn't need it just at the moment, but I'm sure a little bit later on we'll see a Pleasure Dome out of Twodback. Give him some decent money, hopefully. And get his power sorted out. Water is. Sorry, just clicking to try and see these shipping lanes.
Yeah, that is definitely annoying. That shipping lanes. Gonna harp on it a little bit more.
I think we should.
Anyway, the greenhouse farms are frozen. Of Kanto, that was his primary source of income. Everything else is only, all his other tiles are only in the low double digits. Other than this single, well, it was going to be a glass kiln, but now a electrolysis reactor.
Yeah, Twodback's moving into 3 glass kilns there. That is a glass kiln, yeah. Slow. I'm not entirely sure about that. I might have preferred to see him go into electronics, which is going to be more useful. I mean, selling down that glass is...
It is a glass colony. The colony is consuming 1 glass a second. Unfortunately, oxygen's high.
The black market is open for business.
Yeah,
And
there he gets some backup and Twodback, which is good. So he's making $176 per tile, which pretty tasty.
another dust storm. These solar panels. Twodback might be regretting them or cursing the RNG.
Oh, well, I think you can probably rotate out of those at the moment. I mean, power's dropping like a stone, 27 piece. I'm pretty sure there's a more profitable market he could be in if he rotated them. Reactors look good, food look good. Hell, even electronics look good.
Yeah, plenty of markets on for Twodback to be making money. He does have...
Twodback needs to get his stuff up and running. I'm seeing far too many dead buildings there.
Yeah, he does have a decent cash advantage over Kanto at this point, but could have more, especially if these farms were rotated out. Or if... Might also... He's only in 1 high iron, and his steel's barely well, 60. Compared to these glass, it's barely profitable.
Yeah, but they need to be running, don't they?
They do.
So you got to keep some cash on hand to keep these things running.
Extra claim going kind of high at this point, 32k to Kanto. Kanto feeling he needs
Sold.
all the auction help he can get to catch up, as he's been 1 HQ behind Twodback for quite a while.
He has,
Now
yeah. I mean, now
he's
he's 2. That's ridiculous, isn't it? For a scavenger to be 2 HQ levels behind. He's going to get punished for that.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure.
Interesting that Twodback decided to take the upgrade instead of rotating some of his buildings out and maybe try to end the game quickly. I would have been very tempted to try and end it when Kanto upgraded to HQ4. But given how long it's taking Kanto to upgrade to HQ4, it might not matter. Kanto still needs 14k worth of glass to upgrade. He does have the upgrade. Well, he had it until he purchased the EMP. So he will be able to upgrade to HQ4 with a decent safety margin.
Yeah, but I think Twodback, so long as he keeps his buildings running, keeps everything profitable, he's sure he's going to be in a fantastic position. He's going to be able to pick Kanto off pretty much when he wants it. So the next couple of minutes or so, we'll be seeing Kanto have a little bit of pressure from people buying his stock. So into a glass kiln. Very slow to get his buildings down though.
Putting down a hacker array. Yeah, well, Kanto's slow to get the buildings down because, well, let's face it, they're pretty expensive. He rotated out of his double carbon in quarries into double solar condensers.
It's not a good move. Not a good move at all.
No, he's making half the amount of carbon, which is why these buildings are struggling to get put up.
Yeah, I mean, with core samples around, and the fact it's on dry ice as well, I'd be so tempted to take a little triangle, get that carbon, get a couple of core samples, and see what he can pop.
Yeah,
He just gets a triangle of lows. They get rotated later into condensers, but when you're trying to upgrade, you need carbon coming in at 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day and 1.5 during the daylight hours is nowhere near enough.
It's not.
You can't let them get this.
Pretty sure
Get it now
Twodback's going to
before it's
clean this
too
up
late.
any second now. Nearly on 100k. 72% of the buy.
He does have enough to start threatening Kanto, at least Kanto
Congratulations.
almost enough to defend himself.
Yeah. It's 2 or not. I mean,
Kanto's going to try and make this game go long once again. Though Twodback with such an advantage, it's hard to see where Kanto's going to find the long-term advantage. At the moment, he is rotating back out of those solar condensers into elemental quarries, so perhaps those condensers were for picking up O2 money to defend himself? I'm not quite certain what the logic was behind that. We'll have to ask after the game.
yeah, just the time it takes to rotate round though. You might as well just get your carbon in and upgrade.
Twodback is
Defended.
going to buy pretty much all the way into Kanto's stock at Soul 5, which is quite a comfortable lead for Twodback at this point. His money on world is slowly starting to dry up, but he does have that hacker array down and could move into some either condensers, which is what he's deciding to, or perhaps some electrolysis reactors.
Yeah, it looks like Kanto's desperately trying to find out where Twodback's hacker array is.
Well, he has a spy, and he knows where the hacker array is because it's spied, so I'm not certain what this mutiny was meant to accomplish.
Yes. Mutinying those tiles off then. That's a very odd move there from Kanto.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, the EMP for Kanto is only 10k, and that would be a strictly better attack.
black market
Yeah,
is
especially
definitely.
on the solar condensers. But instead, he's going to keep on mutinying Twodback steel mills.
Well, that's great, but he's still got to ship all the iron in to make them run. So yeah, you're not getting massive value for out of those mutinies. Steel, alright's a good price, but I'd have thought there was better use of the black market.
Let the
See about going
bidding
into thinking
begin.
machines, so perhaps we'll see an Offworld off from him shortly. I mean, O2 is a fantastic launch.
It's a fantastic launch, 630 price off world for a current 49k profit. Let's actually look at Twodback and see his off-worlds are going to cost a decent amount, 100k alone in steel for 161k. They'll cost a pretty penny to put up.
Prepare for pending market
Certainly will.
adjustments.
I don't know if we're going to be seeing Offworlds from him. I suspect he's going to put the game up just for this hacker array. It'll take a little bit of time again. He's got such a lead over Conto that he can afford to take his hack this, hack that. Off he goes. But
Yeah, maybe put down, instead of the patent lab for thinking machines and optimization center, optimize steel a little bit. Well, prices are not as good on World this game as they were
misinformation in
last
progress.
game, so
I'm thinking there's money to be made in glass, there's made in electronics, chemicals,
The
not
black
too
market
bad.
is open for
yeah, there are
business.
definitely areas to
Scavenger
make money.
HQ has been upgraded.
Konto finally catches up on HQ5, but is, well, 5 stock behind and 100k behind at this point at Soul 6.
Which is ridiculously far away. For a 1v1, you've got to keep up. And sadly, he hasn't. And he's in D levels of debt as well, so there's no black market use for him. He's not going to be able to defend his optimization center that he's popped up. I just don't like his claims. I don't like the markets he's in. I don't like the way he's organised his claims. I don't like the way he's swapped in and out of condensers. And his mutinies. I like Twodback's mutinies though.
Yeah, I mean, I still buying one EMP to shut down that greenhouse would have been more cost effective. Perhaps, because
It
once
would.
again, he's got to ship that water all the way out.
It's
Before
not
you
as
get-
impressive though, is it? That double mutiny makes a statement.
I mean, a double EMP would make the same statement and do more damage.
Indeed it would.
Price manipulation.
I think I'd go for the EMP, to be perfectly honest with you.
But at this point, it doesn't really matter. Twodback just needs another 70k or so to finish off this buy, less if he sells out of his stock. So maybe one good hack or two at the absolute worst before this game is over.
Yeah, he's got a stock or two there he could sell at 70k, just sitting there. Invested in himself, sell those, and away you go.
The black market
I
is
don't
online.
quite think Conte realises why the price of food is actually so high, because it's not the true price.
No, Twodback, 755 and counting food on hand, just keeping that price as high as possible to force Konto to use his cash to pay down debt, which he did back to sea. Unfortunately, that means he doesn't have money to do anything else. Not that it would matter at this point.
He's back in a D-debt now, so perhaps that
Success
was the
for
wrong
Twodback.
strategy. So yeah, Twodback dominated position again. I definitely think he's been taking some tips off DT.
And going into this scavenger spot with the two low carbons, never using core samples to try and find another one, just meant Konto is going to be behind. Well, he was behind once he founded, lagging behind even though he got that really quick HQ2 upgrade. Twodback
There it
realizing
is.
he has it. Selling out,
There's
takes
the game.
game 2 out of 3. One more game for Twodback, and he will take the series, be our bronze champion in the casuals bracket.